Hey guys, welcome back to the Daily Drivers YouTube channel. It's been a while since we were able to do a video, but I had a chance to spend some time in a 2021 Dodge Charger, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to publish a video so that we could get back into the swing of things with the YouTube channel. So I hope you enjoy it. We'll cover some of the basics, go over the features and what's good and what's bad about this Charger, and if it's still relevant in 2021. So without further ado, let's get the video started. So I thought it might be smart to start with the driving impressions with the Charger, because after all, buying a Dodge Charger is an emotional decision, and you want that purchase to have some sort of payoff in terms of the driving experience of the car. So I got in, and I wasn't expecting it to be, crazy or anything. It's a V6 Charger, 2021. GT model, so it's the all-wheel drive, and it's a big heavy car, right? The V6 3.6 liter Pentastar, the corporate Chrysler V6, makes about 300 horsepower and 264 pound-feet of torque in this application. The Chargers are a little bit different depending on if it's an all-wheel drive one or not, but honestly, the power feels pretty good, all things considered. The odometer, the performance indicator in the dash of this car is reading the fastest 0 to 60 recorded as 7.2 seconds, which, I believe. I'm sure you could get it down even around 6.8 in that range. It's not going to blow the socks off it, and you'll probably lose to a turbo Accord or even a V6 Camry. But what I do enjoy about that is the Dodge has done a nice job tuning the intake noise of the car. So they have the GT model comes with the hood scoop, and it's actually a functional hood scoop. So whether or not that plays a part in the improved sound, it is certainly nice, and it allows you to, when you walk on it or you give it, you try to pass somebody on the highway, you can really hear the engine, and it's nice. It's I wouldn't say it's an exquisite sound, but at least it sort of gives you that little bit of connection with the car. So my apologies, guys, for this review of it's just a quick review. I didn't have much of my equipment, but I didn't want to waste the opportunity. Of course, our channel's not overly fancy yet. We just make do with the bare minimum of equipment and materials that we can get a hold of. So I just wanted to talk about the interior of the car a little bit while we have the chance inside here. The materials are all right. It's not fancy. It was more acceptable maybe 5-7 years ago, but now when you compare it to other full-size sedans like a Maxima or an Avalon, it's just not in the same realm. The dash panel and the upper door panels are all soft touch, but there's no stitching. There's no leather on the upper door panels. The door handles themselves are in this just cheap-looking chintzy black plastic housing. Not a very good look. I'll show you that in a second when I do a little walk around of the interior. But generally, it's an all-right place to be, and the saving grace is the Uconnect Infotainment Center, the 8.4-inch screen that Chrysler's been using for quite a few years now. The system works pretty well. It's very responsive, pretty fast, all things considered. It's easy to navigate with the shortcuts down at the bottom of the screen that live there permanently, so that you always know how to get back to your media or your climate. One thing I did find a little bit strange, it kind of caught me off guard when I first got in, was I was looking for Android Auto, and I just wanted to see, if it had the functionality at all, but it doesn't indicate as an option until you actually plug your phone in. So for somebody who's new to the car, or even if you were loaning it to somebody or one of your friends was driving, they might not know right off the bat that the vehicle has Android Auto. So, but it does, which is great, and it helps modernize the car, which is maybe lagging a little bit in some other technological areas. But overall, yeah, the interior is an all-right place to be. It's comfortable, but not overly fancy. So for a little wrap-up on the interior, I'll just show you guys some of the materials. Up here is a kind of like soft-touch plastic material. It would have been nice if they could have incorporated some leather here, just to make it a little bit more premium, but that's a little bit of a shortcoming. The fabric here is just a regular fabric. something similar to what you'd see in a seat. And there's a little bit of stitching here, just single line stitching going up the side of the door there, as you can tell. And that's the bottom of the door panel. In terms of features on the door, you just have automatic front passenger and driver windows, not the back, and your mirror controls there. Few features I'd like to note that are nice and appreciate them, are automatic wipers. Nice to have. You wouldn't necessarily expect that, but it does have it. And this car also comes with the performance package. So what you get is, Dodge labels it the Super Track Pack, but really all it is you can tweak the steering, traction, and the transmission shift points just to make it feel a little bit more sporty. I didn't personally notice that big of a difference, but the option's there if you want to, you know, fool around with it and put it in sport mode. Now I'd like to touch a little bit on fuel economy, guys. I've just finished taking the vehicle on about 1,000 kilometer road trip. I live in Canada, of course, so I tend to use the metric system when I'm speaking about distances and speeds and such. But the fuel economy on the trip was surprisingly good, really. I'm averaging about 8.4 liters per 100 kilometers, which in a big V6 sedan like this, you know, that's perfectly respectable in my opinion. I think it's about 26, 27 miles per gallon. So, I mean, it shows that you can maybe make a purchase like this on a whim if you're looking for something a little bit more sporty and not necessarily pay the ultimate price at the fuel pumps. Of course, with the price of fuel in Canada right now and Nova Scotia being over $2 a liter, the filling it up from empty was $126. But really, that's you know, par for the course with most vehicles that have a tank in this size range, about 70 liters. So really, if you can live with that little extra of fuel penalty in comparison to like an Avalon or a Maxima or something like that, then it might be worth considering the Charger. So we're losing daylight here, guys, but I just wanted to give you a quick tour of the outside of the car, just to give you an overall, I am a pretty big fan myself. I think the car looks much better in the GT trim with the hood scoop and the different front fascia here. It just makes it look a little bit more like a Charger, in my opinion. A little more angry, I guess you could say. So it also comes with the 20-inch rims rather than the 18s you'd get on the standard SXT, which is nice. Overall, the looks are familiar, of course. They've been around for quite a few years now, even with the crease on the side dating back to 2011, I believe. So generally, still attractive vehicle. The GT also gets a little bit different exhaust tips than the regular SXT. They're circular rather than the standard ones on the SXT. You also get the nice little lip spoiler here, which makes things a little sportier. Another nice thing about this model is you get keyless entry with push-button ignition as well. So fairly modern in terms of those features. Trunk has a release in the key fob, as well as a button there. It just pops right open, which is nice. It's not that large of a trunk, around 15 cubic feet, but it does the trick for, a road trip, as you can see. Alrighty, moving along. The fuel door on these is the no cap style, so whether you're a fan of that or not, that's up to you, but that's what it has. And a quick look at the back seat while we're at it. It's alright, fairly roomy. Nothing crazy. There would be definitely competitors that have more room, but let's see if I can sit behind myself here. Give it a quick attempt. I have the seat back pretty far, and that's the room I have, about an inch. So, yeah, it's alright. Other things of note, in the back seat, you have 2 USB ports down here. You have backseat vents, and you also have cards in both door pockets. On the doors as well, we have windows, of course, right here, and a nice, handy bottle holder for drinks. So, back seats are a pretty good place to spend some time and enjoy the ride. So, a few other small things before we move on to the next segment. I just wanted to give you guys the startup animation of the car and touch on a few smaller points. So let's get the start button right down here. It's in a pretty convenient spot, well labeled, of course, and it's illuminated at night, as well as these cup holders, which is nice. So we'll press our button. Gauges light up nice and red. and you get the charger decal there in the gauge. And then we'll press start. And then you have to press the brake, of course, to start the vehicle. And it fires to life. Small other thing to note, the vehicle does have a 9-speaker Alpine sound system, I believe. There's 3 speakers up on the front of the windshield, which really helps with the sound quality. The bass is good, but the overall quality of the system I would maybe rate a 6, 7 out of 10. Yeah, for a lot of different types of music it works well, but it's a little bit limited in its range, I would say. So just to wrap up, guys, I really appreciate you sticking around with the channel. I know we've gained quite a few subscribers. I think we're getting close to 100, which is pretty crazy considering we haven't posted a video in over a year. But even up until now, we've been getting lots of comments on the Matrix video and quite a bit of engagement, all things considered. So I'm really grateful for that, and I will try to make an effort to just produce more content and be more active on the channel. I try to answer all the comments, and just if anybody has questions, I'm glad to answer them. And yeah, so hope you stick around with Daily Drivers and we can grow together as a channel. Let me know any suggestions, tips, any ideas you might have, and I'll definitely consider them. Thanks very much, everybody.